Oh yeah, we're back. WEPA. Man, where'd the first 2 months of the year go, Nick? It was just New Year's and Valentine's Day, right?
Absolutely. It just flew right by.
I'm
I have no
serious.
what's going on.
I don't know.
Spring is near though, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Woo, 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 woo. That's a good thing for sure, because I'm tired of the cold, man. How about you?
Uh, I'm so tired of the cold. Like I'm ready to just wear a sweater or like a nice jacket. And that means that clocks get to move forward and we get to have some sunshine time.
Ay,
So on
Dios
Sunday,
mío.
bring
Yes,
forward.
finally some vitamin D. So let's do it, man. We want to welcome everyone to the VOE show. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez. And of course, with me is the one, the only, Mr. Nick Luis. What's poppin', Nick?
Hey everyone. Hola everyone.
Dale. The VOE show is bringing you good content, positive vibes, and siempre a cultura. Dale. The VOE show can be streamed online and on demand at pulsocentro.com and on the Pulso Centro app. And don't forget to follow Pulso Centro on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Pues vámonos, Nick. Let's go.
Let's do this. Hey.
So how was your February, Nick? Cold and wintry, yeah? I bet, February is known to be the coldest month of winter based on the Earth's angle to the sun. It's just crazy.
No, absolutely, for sure. February was, very short, obviously because it's only 28 days.
Finally.
But it was really cool. Valentine's Day was really cool.
Aw.
I went to this really cool Latin fusion restaurant called Puertas in Bay Ridge. It was so good. I had the surf and turf steak and lobster. Jamie got me some roses. Thank you, babe. Love them. And yeah, February was like this weird, I don't know, transitional month, but here we are in March, so I'm ready to just get into March madness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how about you, Eddie? How are you feeling since our last show? Better, I hope?
Oh yeah. If I tell you, you wouldn't believe me.
You tell me more, tell me more.
So last we chatted, we were in the studio recording the last show, and after I was starting to get better from, my back problems, and I'm almost back to 100%. So from that, so yay, good.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah, but the following weekend, bam, I got food poisoning. Come on, I mean, you believe
Really?
this? Yeah.
Are you seriously? What is going on in 2025? What's happening?
Tell me about it. And if you ever had food poisoning, it wasn't pretty. I was so dehydrated from loss of fluids that I had to do like a full weekend of just water, Gatorade, electrolytes, soup and crackers, the bland, boring meals, and tea with ginger.
Yeah.
So let's just say that these last 2 pounds I lost were super easy.
But that's insane, though, you poor guy. Can you catch a break? Can you?
But the good side of it, right? The good side of it is, health is wealth. I took the weekend to rest and recharge. So, yeah, it's been so cold out, so I wasn't planning for any outdoor stuff anyway. So I did some reading. I binged a few shows and literally napped for like a whole day, the day that it hit me. And it was one of those good naps, like I woke up and then I wanted to stay sleeping. You ever get those types of naps where you're not feeling well and it's like you sleep the whole day and it's like you love your pillows and you love your bed and it's just like, man.
I do. And those are the best naps, so yeah. But how long before you felt better from that, though?
So it was one of those food poison things. Like it was like a 2 to 3 day thingy before I felt I was ready to start eating regular meals again.
Okay.
So yeah, great for weight loss, but not my plan at all. I'm the working out and eating well, not starving and not eating type diet guy.
Right. No, for sure. Well, I'm glad you're better from that and
Thank
from
you.
your back.
Thank you.
March is here. Spring is almost here. We have another week or so.
That's right.
And then we gain some more daylight now, so we can go outside and keep moving. And so
that's right. We get an extra hour, and that's definitely the plan, to get outside and moving. But before we do that, we need to do some spring cleaning, right? And like I say, one thing we like to talk about with spring cleaning this time of year is I tell people and I give advice to start cleaning up our finances and, of course, making sure You file your taxes on time by April 15th. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's that time of the year.
Unfortunately. Yeah, yeah.
But since it's that time of the year of that year, what kind of tips and advice do you have for our listeners out
Yeah,
there?
let's jump into it. Let's get to it. So,
Okay,
we want
cool.
to share some financial literacy tips to set you up for success in 2025 and beyond.
Ooh,
Let's call it the VOE Money List. Check it out, Nick. Look. What's the first
okay.
tip on the list? Check it out.
All right, right. Let me see. Okay. The first tip is create a budget. Calculate your monthly income and expenses to create a budget that works for you.
That's right. That's right.
Ooh.
Making a budget is so fundamental to maintaining your household finances. And it's rather simple too. So don't stress too much over it, Nick. Like just track all your cash inflows and outflows. So for the month, write down all your inflows, that means like what money you have coming in, your
Mm-hmm.
paycheck, your side gigs, your part time jobs, and if you're elderly and retired, your pension, your social security, whatever brings
Mm-hmm.
money in regularly. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. And do the same for your fixed expenses. And when I say fixed expenses, it's like things you always have to pay, like your
Right.
mortgage, your rent, your light bill, gas bill, car expenses, insurance, internet, cell phone, etc., etc. Whatever expenses happen every single month, and write those down too on paper. Or these days, you can create a simple spreadsheet for it. I like to use
Mm-hmm.
Excel or Google
Or Google
Sheets.
Sheets.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, easy stuff. That right there creates a foundation for your monthly budget, right? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now let's jump into tracking your spending. So take us to number
Okay.
two, Nick.
Okay. So yes, number two is keeping track of what you spend to help you stick to your budget. Ooh.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to say the word that we talked about in the last episode. Like, it's very
Mm-hmm.
important to have discipline, right? Have discipline when you set a budget. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a hard line person when it comes to like not, enjoying life. This does not mean you can't enjoy your hard work and buy things you like or spend for a vacation, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
factor those expenses or things you save for into your budget. Set a
Mm.
goal. That word again, goal, right?
Yeah.
Goal.
What goals?
Yeah. Why create a budget, Nick?
Well, it's to make sure you make ends meet, right? You
Yeah,
don't live beyond your means
exactly.
and have something left over for a rainy day, a future want, or even something that you may need?
Exacto. Like, I want to save $1,000 a month and use that to invest. Or I want to save $1,000 a month to use it for a deposit on a car, a new house, or a down payment on an apartment, or to go on a vacation. It's your money.
Mm,
It's your goal, right? Which brings us to the next tip, Nick.
yeah, which is save for emergencies and save for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this one because life happens and things happen. And the next thing you know, you have to go into debt because you didn't have a stash, as we call it, for a
Mm-hmm.
rainy day.
Yeah.
Like,
Our elders, our OGs used to talk about keeping a stash, right? They used to keep it under the mattress or in a shoebox or in that round, that round tin can that we thought
oh,
was like
yeah.
Christmas cookies, but it was like
Yeah.
used for like anything from sewing kit to keeping a stash. So, yeah, so saving for emergencies so you don't have to go into debt. When you go into debt, you are paying extra for the debt and loans you take. So, rule of thumb, right, is to put aside little by little about 6 months of your normal monthly expenses for an emergency. Got it?
Got it.
6 months, right? So if you're used to getting that big refund check at tax time, ask yourself this: do I have 6 months of my expenses saved in case of an emergency? And if you don't, start now. You will sleep better knowing you have it set aside for an emergency or rainy day, right? Would you sleep better, Nick?
Yeah, I would definitely sleep much
That's
better.
right. That's
Cozy.
right. That's right. You have that set aside in case of an emergency. The other aspect of saving for the future is saving for your retirement. Saving for your retirement as early as possible. I teach everyone that if you work somewhere that matches your retirement contribution dollar for dollar, make sure that at the very least you're putting into what they match.
Mm,
You earn that benefit with your employer, so make sure you take full advantage of that benefit. So let's say, for example, if your jobs match your contributions up to 4% of what you earn, you better be putting in at least the 4%, right? Like, why would
mm,
you leave any money on the table that's going to grow tax deferred and be there for your retirement, right?
right, yeah.
So, for example, if you earned $100,000, your employer will give you 4% or $4,000 to match your $4,000. So that's 8,000 now you have put aside for retirement, but you only have to put 4. But if you only put 1,000, then they're only going to match 1,000. So you just lost out on $6,000 that could have gone towards your retirement. And 3,000 of it was their match, free money. So pay that extra 6,000 over. If you think about that $6,000, if you had it over the next 20 years at like 5% interest, it would grow to like $16,000.
Mm,
Yeah. So
that's
don't
dope.
forget, like, your contribution is also pre-tax. So you'll save on the taxes that they withhold from your check, right? So even if you put $10 more into your retirement, know that your net check is only going to show maybe like $7 less, not the whole $10 because you save $3 on the taxes. You get it?
Got it. I got it. So when you put it like that, you definitely have to take advantage of all your employer offers towards your retirement, right? And then take advantage of pre-tax growth over time. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Pre-tax
okay.
is the name of the game, right? You don't want to give Uncle Sam anything that you don't have to until way into the future. So don't leave any
Mm,
money on the table and try to cut your taxes any way you can. Putting money away pre-tax saves you on taxes. So it's smart, smart financial literacy, smart financial planning. And also, if you leave that job, it's portable. You can take that money with you anywhere. You could take it to the next job, or you can roll it over into a retirement IRA, right? Dale. I mean,
nice.
win-win.
Yeah,
And it can be
got it.
used. Oh, here's the other nice thing, right? It can also be used if you need to take a loan from it, which leads to my next tip, Nick.
Right.
What's VOE's next tip?
Yes. The next tip is plan ahead for big expenses. So, such as for a house, a car, and make informed decisions on how to finance it.
That's right.
Hmm.
This is a good one. This is like so good. Like, many people don't realize that you can borrow your own retirement money instead of taking another loan out, a private loan. In some cases, people actually raid their retirement fund and take what we call an early distribution from their retirement. That's a no-no. That triggers a
Mm,
10% penalty automatically. And on top of that, you have to pay taxes on it.
what?
Yeah.
A 10% penalty? That's insane. That's like your money,
Yeah.
literally.
You saved for your retirement. Now you need it. You can take a loan on it. But if you take a distribution, you just really like stepped on your own toe. Now you got to give the government a 10% penalty on top of pay taxes on it that year you took it out. That's what I say all the time. You work hard to save for your retirement, and because you need it for a down payment or an emergency, you have to give the government a 10% penalty? No way. No
Right.
way. So let's give an example. So for example,
Uh,
if you take $100,000 distribution, the government automatically penalizes you $10,000 at tax time on top of federal and state taxes you have to pay on the $100,000 of income. You have to claim that as income.
right.
What's scary is when people do it, they spend the whole amount. Like, they'll spend the whole $100,000 for whatever reason they took it out
Oh my
and did not
gosh.
set aside for the taxes and the penalty. So come tax time, they're short. Now, instead of, owing less or not owing at all, now you owe the taxes on that $100,000, which could pretty much be like close to $30,000, believe it or not.
Got
So what they should have done is set aside 30 and only spend 70 of that 100 just to be, safe and not worry about the tax impact later on. So, if whereas if you took that 100,000 as a loan, and paid yourself back with interest over time, you'd get that money back in retirement, waiting when you retire, and not pay any penalties or taxes on it. So I tell people, don't pull the
Oh,
trigger to take out your retirement money without talking to someone first. Because it always happens
right.
that you find out at the end of the year, hey, I'm doing my taxes. Oh, by the way, here's this 1099 I got from my retirement fund. You're like, what? What did you do? Oh, I took some money out. I had to
Uh,
fix the house and such. And I'm like, oh no, did you set aside money for the taxes? No. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have bad news for you. Don't kill the messenger. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
no, yeah, that's a brilliant strategy, though. So, I have a question.
Sure.
What about credit cards? How and when should we use them?
Well, credit cards, everyone needs to build their credit. And that's how a credit card should be used, right? Pay them off immediately every month. Just revolve, your balance and just pay it off every month. You spend $20, pay the $20 next month. You spend $100, pay the $100 next month. I use a
Mm,
credit card to pay for routine expenses, and I ensure it's paid off every it's paid off full every month. It should
okay.
be for like expenses you already know, the ones you budget for and should always track. And if you do use it for one offs, right, just factor those one offs into your budget that month. So, it has to be paid off in full. Don't play with the credit card interest. It's serious. It's high, and it's
Mm,
not where you want your money to go to pay banks high interest charges. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You agree?
yeah, no, I
Yeah,
totally agree.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
using
oh,
$10,000 credit card balance as an example. If you pay the minimum on a $10,000 balance, it could take you
mhm.
12 years to pay off, that $10,000. But worst of all, that it's going to cost you an extra $6,000. So you actually
Uh,
pay back $16,000 for $10,000 you charge. That's insane.
that
That's like
that
extortion.
really is a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So use your cards wisely to build up your credit profile. With your recurring expenses that you pay off every month in your budget, and watch your credit score go up. Over the years, easily.
Right.
Or if you planned an expense, like a vacation or an event you're attending, just know that your budget is set to pay that credit card bill when it's due. Got it? Got it?
Got it.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
these are like VOE's most favorite tips. The four I always share. There's a lot more, but of course not enough time. So we can do that
Right,
again
right,
another time.
right. Got it. This is great. So just to recap for everyone, so we calculate your monthly income and expenses to create a budget, and you can use a paper, Google Sheets, all
Yep.
that good stuff, Excel. Keep track of what you spend to help you stick to your budget. So discipline, goals. Save for emergencies and save for the future because you just never know what life is gonna throw you.
That's right.
And then plan ahead for big expenses like house, car, vacation.
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
And
cool.
I'll even add just a bonus one, like talk to someone who knows, finances. If you're
Mhm.
unsure, talk to someone, right? So now let's get on to our next topic. So
Oh, yeah.
VOE always looks to celebrate and recognize special themes and diversity months. And with that,
Mhm.
March is Women's History Month. Dale. Yeah, that's right.
Yay.
So, Nick, tell us a little bit about Women's History Month, how it started and where it is
Oh,
today.
yes. I love this topic. And I love giving like history notes. So this is perfect. So internationally, it came from about starting in 1910. A German activist, Clara Zenkin, suggested the International Conference of Working Women in Copenhagen, the creation of an international holiday to honor women. Europeans recognized International Women's Day in 1911, although the US did not follow suit, of course.
Interesting.
Subsequently, the date of March 8th became significant in 1917 when women in the Russian capital of Petrograd protested and went on strike, demanding food and the end of the empire. A week later, the Tsar abdicated. Zenkin reportedly suggested in 1921 that March 8th became International Women's Day as a result.
Shout
It
out to
took,
Zetkin.
right,
Shout out to
right.
Zetkin.
Shout out to Zenkin, yeah, for sure. But It took years for Women's History Month to be federally recognized by the US, which I'm not surprised.
Mm.
In 1980, the National Women's History Project led a coalition of women's groups and successfully lobbied President Jimmy Carter to issue a proclamation recognizing National Women's History Week. It took until 1987, so 7 years later, for Congress to pass a law designating March as Women's History Month.
Boy, oh boy, we
Right.
we should be ashamed that we lag so behind the international community. And looking back,
Right.
that was much too long. Where would we be without our women? I'm proud to
Hmm.
share, over my experience and career that a lot of opportunities came about because a woman advocated for me. So,
Facts.
so
I
Nick, what
agree.
is what is the 2025 theme for Women's History Month?
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So for 2025, the theme is moving forward together, women educating and inspiring generations. And this theme is meant to highlight and support women who have dedicated their lives to education, mentorship, and leadership to shape the minds and futures of all generations. So, a great resource too is the National Museum of the American Latino, which has a list of 25 Latinas you should know about. Famous Latina trailblazers, leaders, artists, entertainers, musicians, and writers.
Nice.
And, here we're just going to name a few because we don't have all day. We should name all 25, but we're just going to name a few of them.
Who are they?
And the first one is, are you ready, Eddie?
Go for it.
Is Dolores Huertas. She's
Ah,
an activist, feminist, and a labor organizer who co founded the United Farm Workers, the UFW union, and coined the popular phrase Si se puede, which means yes, we can. Dolores,
Dolores
don't we love her?
Huerta. She's an OG, and she's still out there, Nick. She's still out there.
Yeah, she really is out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This next person or Latina, America Ferrera, who I love so much. Which quick connection, America Ferrera was in a Disney Channel original movie called Gotta Kick It Up back in the early 2000s, and a movie that I grew up with. And they use the phrase "si se puede," so it's such a great like little nuance here and a synchronicity. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know who America Ferrera is, you need to know her. She's an actress, producer, and a director who has received numerous awards for her work, including an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. So,
Shout out
America
to
Ferrera.
America.
Hmm. Then we have Sonia Sotomayor, who is the first Latina and the third woman to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. Go
That's
Sonia!
right.
She's
Sonia
there right now.
Sotomayor. She's from the BX, right? She's from the Boogie Down. So don't play with her. She's in the
No,
Justice,
don't play,
Supreme
don't
Court
play.
Justice. She don't play games.
Hmm. Then next we have Margrit Villacrayan, an American baseball player who played during World War II from 1946 to 1950 in the All American Girls Professional Baseball League.
I love this one because a
Hmm.
lot of people have seen the movie A League of
A
Their
league
Own.
of their own.
They know this story, but a
Yes.
lot of the characters weren't predominant of color or Latinos
Hmm.
in the lead roles. But now there were great players in the women's baseball league during the World War II,
That.
and some of them were Latina. And if you look up
Hmm.
Margaret, she had some crazy statistics. I mean, she was like really leading in the league. A lot of the things that she did in the league.
Yeah, famous. Then we have Ellen Ochoa, the first Latina to go to space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery, includes a 30-year career with NASA.
I
So
love
she
that.
is the in space.
I love that. I'm an aviation geek, so anything aerospace and aviation, I love. So Ellen
Yeah,
Ochoa, shout out to her. She was one of the first on
yes.
the space shuttle program, so I'm glad you mentioned her. Where can we find these?
Yeah, we can check them all out at www.latino.c.edu/25 Latinas you should know.
That's an amazing list.
Yeah.
Amazing
I'm
list. Again, where would we be without our strong Latinas? We love you, we see you, and we
so yeah.
recognize you this month. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yes, yes. And in honor of Women's History Month, this month's quote is from the one, the only. Frida
Oh wow,
Kahlo.
you know what, Nick? I have a painting of Frida in my house. It's not by
You
Frida.
do?
Yeah, it's not by her, but
Oh,
it's just of
uh-huh.
her. So I have one in my house. So
Got it. I would love to go to her museum
I'm
in
gonna take a
Mexico.
picture and share with you.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
yeah.
quote you have?
Okay, the quote is, "At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can." Ooh,
Absolutely,
right, right,
absolutely.
right.
I
I
love
love
Frida
that.
Kahlo. Thank you for that one. And you know what?
Yeah.
Salma Hayek played Frida in the feature film Frida back in 2002.
Oh,
Did you see that movie? Did you
yes.
check it out?
It was such a great movie. It's iconic. If you
It's
haven't
really
seen it,
good.
you need to see it
Yeah,
now.
it's really good. So if
It's
anybody
really
hasn't
good.
seen it, check out Frida with Salma Hayek. You heard it first
Mm.
here. But with that, Nick, we're wrapping up episode
Ah,
5. So let's say goodnight, Nick.
all right. We have to say good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Eddie.
See you
And we'll
next
see you next
time.
time.
Ah,
Yes.
there.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Bye.